that means, how's it going? Or like, are you alright? That's what it means in Jamaica. That's what it means. You know, if you learn another language, well, I'm not getting very far, I've only learned a few words, but if you learn another language, it like keeps your brain alert, keeps you good. It's a good thing to do. So I thought, if you're going to learn another language, who's the coolest one you could learn? And I thought, Jamaican. Proper. So that means like, how you to go, how you getting on, how you going? That's what that means. How's it going? How you getting on? Cool, innit? So if I learn a few more words, I'll sort of be able to tell people I can talk 2 languages. Even if I only learn a few words, it's still good, innit? Right. I think I'll have a bit of cerulean blue and just put in a pretty simple sky today. I've put a bit of darker blue in with that and a tiny bit, just because it wasn't going on. These paints what I'm using, these aren't even student quality. These are kids quality paints. So I'm sort of trying to show you how to paint if you're skint. No wonder I'm skint, because I go out doing stuff with my stepbrother Doofus. I'm telling you that. Doofus sews his pockets up before he goes out. No wonder I'm skint, buying Doofus a pint. Went out with him yesterday and I reckon he sewed his pockets up before he went out. Doofus, my stepbrother. I bought my girlfriend Esmeralda. I got a present for Esmeralda. That were a good swap. Get it? A joke. Right, just plopping in some background trees. They're pretty faint. I think what I'm going to do, I'll get some of that same colour, dip it into me green, see what that does. Is that like, that's better. It's a bit stronger, isn't it? Adding a bit more green in. And another layer in there. That one's a bit greener. Well, that's that. Then in there, a sip of coffee. I'm going to dip that brush without washing it. Dipped it into a bit of water to get a bit more water in the brush. But I've not actually washed it, I've just done that to load it with water. And then with what colour's left on my brush, I've gone straight into my yellow. Back into it again. Obviously my yellow's turned green straight away, because the blue and that sort of that was a greeny blue, but it's just gone blue. Well, that blue took this yellow green. Blue and yellow makes us green. Right, so that's that. So I think now if I bring that down there, drag that paint over there down into there like that, that'll be a nice green bit there, same here. Into there, I'm just borrowing that thick green paint there to drag it down here. Right, now, again, I've dipped my brush just into water. Now I've come over and cleaned my brush, just dipped it in water, and now I'm getting it on some Bont Umber. I'll show you. Let me show you my palette. That's my palette, look. And then I'm just rubbing it on that Bont Umber like that. That's just a dry block. I got a load of paint again me. And that's just, some of this paint is half decent paint. What I got again me. And then some of it were just like kids quality. There's a few different people's given me paint. So I'll use that. But look, because it's all dried in one lump, it's quite difficult to get it off. But the thing is, it were drying in the tube, so I had to get it out. Because once it dried in the tube, I'd never get it out. So I just squeezed it all out in one lump. So it were free. So don't ton that down for free. Right, into there with that. That's me mud. I'll tend to get mud at the bottom of these bits, and then because that's going up like that, take that up. I'll try and leave a few them little white gaps, look. They always look nice. And this is going to blend with this green, look, to look lovely. All these runs and that always look nice. There, nice. Yeah, that's nice. I'm just drinking more coffee. I do like my coffee. Right, let me think now. There's a couple of distantest trees. Shall I put them in? Squeeze that right in there. There's some distant trees in there. Right. On the other painting, the tree's there, but I managed to splash some brown there, so I'm going to move it across to there. I'm painting from a painting that I did ages ago, by the way. But yeah, I'm going to move that across, just simply because I've splashed some paint over there, and the world's my lobster. So I can put this wherever I want. A few little twiggy bits around. There we are. Now then, what you do now, when fine leaves, I just like to put them in like that. Not leaves, twigs. These are just twigs. There. What's that? And there's a closer one. There's a couple of closer ones in here. This paper's cockled, so try and straighten that a bit. That's better. There. Right, there's a couple of closer ones, so I'll get them in. That brown, what I had there, I've mixed that in with a bit of that blue there, so it looks a bit more distant. And then this one, because this one's closer, I've mixed a little bit more brown in. Do that one about there. Yeah, this one's a bit closer, so I'll do it a bit bigger, and I'll put a bit more. See how that's a bit browner, then that's got a bit more blue in. That's to warm colours up a bit. And that's going to make it look closer to you. Some I keep saying leaves, it's not leaves, some twigs coming off, some little branches, and then it'll go into little twigs. So some coming out there. And some little twigs. Right, and then again, they're my little tiny twigs. A few in there. That'll do, that's just enough to make it look like some little twiggy bits. If you want, you can get your finger, soften a bit like that. And I'm going to do another one about the same distance as that there, and I'm going to do a closer one in the middle. So I use that same colour for this next one. I'll have it. I'll take it from about there as though it's coming from the middle, because it's not dead close here. Well, in fact, that one goes to the bottom. Oh, I don't know. It looks better from there. Yeah, some twigs on it. See how they make good little twigs, don't they? You can even do that with a wet paint and it still comes across looking like twigs. So it's pretty good. Yeah, I think the base of this one's just fading into distance. Look where there's a bit of mist. Just there you are. If you want a bit of mist in your picture, just do that with your finger. It's gone misty up. And then I'm going to have a nice, really close one in here. So for that close one, let's use a fatter brush. Right, tiny bit of that. No, I've got a really minute bit of that blue in there. What's virtually nothing. There we are. This one's going to be, it's closer, so it's going to be just going out the page. Take it. Take one there. Little one there. That's it, that'll do. And then I'll swap back to me a rigger brush. They call that a rigger brush because back in the day they used to paint the riggers on ships with one of these brushes. That's why it's called a rigger brush. You learn a lot of educational stuff when you watch me paint. Very educational. You've learnt a bit of Jamaican. If you can do that, the Jamaican language. Which way is my light going to come in? Say my light's coming in that way, so soften that. If you can do the Jamaican accent with the Jamaican language with a Jamaican accent, that's even better. There we are, some more twigs. This one's a bit closer, so I can go a tiny bit stronger. There we are. Right, now, here's a big one. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to use Bon Umber. I'm going to stick some Payne's Grey in it, I think. I'm going to use a much stronger mix. So, there, I don't know if you can see how, well, you'll see when I put it in. There's a lot more paint on the brush here. Let's take this one from about there. I think I'll just do the main bit of the trunk first. So that bit will go up there. That's coming out there. So a bit there like that, and this bit's coming out. And probably across. And I'd say there'd be a bit going up there. Something like that. Shall I even have? I'd say about there. Another bit coming out across. Plenty of paint on my brush. I'm running out of paint. Take that one across there like that. There we are. That's that now. You know what I might do? In fact, I'm going to do. I've gone into an even darker colour. And I think what I'm going to do is if I do that down one side, that'll look like it's a lot more rounded shape to it. And that'll make this tree look more rounder because my light's coming in this way. I've not really done that on these other ones. It's because they're further away, but I could do. Could go in and do that. That's some more coffee. So that's that. I'll tell you what I think I might do. Let's wash this brush. I'm going to dip this brush in some of that yellow green. Mix some of that yellow green up. And come in and dab that in there and sort of blend it with that yellow green. There'd probably be a bit of a shadow under here from all them leaves and twigs, so they should look pretty good. Gone back into more of a yellow now. Blend that now. Just soften it all in. It'll just make it sit into the earth a bit better. So I'll leave that line there. That can be that coming right up there. Tiny bit of shadow on that top bit there. Because what I'm thinking, it'd be from all these twigs and that, what's up there, you'd have a slight shadow, I reckon. That's my shadow under there. I'll tell you what I might do now then, to get a bit of, see if I can do that slightly dark. I'm going to need my paint for these. See if I can get a slightly darker bit down this side. But be careful, because it could dry lighter and end up lightening it. What obviously I don't want to do. A bit on this one, a little bit, and then just rinse my brush out. I think I'll just soften it in. Oh, I'm glad I did that. That looks nice. Yeah, lovely. Right, another sip of coffee. What I've got to do. Twigs. This one needs some branches and twigs. So, not be too many, because a lot on them on this one now, it's gone straight out top of page, so not going to be many. So, just that's better. So I'll come up back of there, that into that here. Let's go behind there, that one, or maybe it would have gone in front. It's up to you. Come behind in front. See, some of these branches are going behind. In fact, I think that would go in front. So if I do that there, I think it'll go in front. Let's tuck that in front of that one. Pull some little branches just out there like that. That's it. Looks nice. Same this side. I think I'll have another little branch there. I know. So I want it middle here coming out, and that can go behind there, and up there like that. Yeah, something like that. And then I think I'll pop in, check there's still some paint, some of these twigs on here as well. Loads of little twigs on it. That'll probably do. That's it. So that's that one. Oh, right, I suppose now this one's going to cut in front of the lot. I suppose now stick that one in. Right, so let's go for it. I'm going to go dark to light, I think, on this one. Normally I'd go light to dark. I think I'm going to go dark to light. Just get my darks in on this side. There, like that. And then I can just come in some Mont umber. Put that in. I can go down there like that. That's just going out top of there. And then it's still quite dark up the back of that, sort of going up there, I think. And then probably just start adding a bit of water in to thin it all. That's it, this is quite thin here now then. See, really I need to wash out any of them colours, what's gone behind that, which I think I'd like that there. I get it a little rub just to wash that bit away, so it looks like that from that tree is going behind it. Right, I'm going to give that a total wash now. That's just a wet brush now, and just come up to the edge of that right there. See, let's take it over there a bit so it looks like a bobbly bit. That'll do. Yeah, just a bit of that. And then I think I'll do the same thing on this bottom, some of this pure yellow, and just blend it in. A bit of that coming down there, just blending in. That can be a bit of shadow, or whatever, it can be whatever it wants. It's just softening that, softening them two into each other. I don't always do that, I just thought of it today. It's quite nice, doesn't it? Yeah, come on. Right, let's pop a bit more dark in back of there. There we are. Oh, that's looking a bit barky now, isn't it? A little bit barky. That's what we want, so it looks like bark. Oh, I think I'm pretty happy with that. Oh, I've got a delivery to come for a post. Brilliant. Right, never mind that. Right, let's have a look. Right. I'm going to repeat that blue in here for my water now. So that were a cerulean, wasn't it? Nice cerulean blue. Don't know, I have to dampen that a bit fast. I'm going to dampen it a bit. I don't want no hard edges in my water, so if I put a little bit of dampened water in, there we are, sorted. Right. And I'm going to touch into that colour, look, and it will just blob down and it'll look like a bit of shadow. If it does blob down, if it doesn't, it don't matter. Either way, it's going to look good. Don't worry about it. There we are. That's that. I'm going to put a tiny bit of darker blue just in here, because as your sky goes up, the further up your sky goes, the darker it goes. If you look at the skies, it goes in that way. That bit's further, much further away than that bit. If you look straight up, it's closer. So things closer is darker. See what I mean? Right. Now then, in there, we'll have some shadows now. So if I dip that same blue into a bit of this yellowy green, that'll give me a few nice shadows for them green trees. There we are, a bit in there like that. Best thing to do is to have your paper more at an angle. This might flow too far because I've got it quite far up so you can see it, but if you're painting at home, you're probably better off not having your paper as far up as what I've got mine, and then that not drip down too far. I think I'll be alright, but just sort of that goes. Oh, there, well, I'll stick a bit of that in. It's a bit darker. I'll put a bit more in. Just trying to reflect a little bit of that earth in there. All them little tiny white lines, look, that's a little bit of water line that I've left. Let's get a bit of that brown earth in there, look, a bit there, and a bit there. That's it, and then I don't think it's worth putting any green in there. Right, so that's that. And then I think, this brush, what time are we on? 23 minutes, that's not too bad. Right, I think that there, cut through there, through here. I think that tree there would reflect into this water. So that's sort of that branch there. This one here, that definitely would. That's going to reflect, so I'll have that, say, so that there. Slightly darker on that back bit. That's that one in. This one's a little bit fainter, I think. So this one in. This one's sort of a bit spindly, this one is. Add more water on my brush, thin that paint a bit. Something like that. I'm not trying to copy it exact, it doesn't matter, it's just a rough thing that there's something there. That one's quite far back, so let's get me rigger to do that one. That one's quite far back, so I'm just going to do something like that. Might get all the branches on this one reflected. Give him a bit of rubbing on like that. That's it, that's that one. I'm going to darken a bit down one side. Let's do that. If I do that, it'll make a bit of bark on that. It'll bring them a bit closer and make that one look a bit more distant, hopefully. So that's that. Right. Nearly done. I think what I'm going to do now is just build up a little bit around these areas here. Right, so got this green. I'm going to build some of this up. So a bit more or less light green in here, like that. That's always going to, oh, that looks nice. And let's say a bit of that down here and all. This is some bankings and stuff down here. Into this mud. That's all bankings and stuff. That's working its way down into that mud. A bit in there like that. That's that. Right, what I want now. I want to get a contrast between this colour here. Give me a nice contrast between light and dark. So if I blend that in there, even up to there, yeah. Then that gives me that contrast there of the light and dark. It's always going to look good. So that's that. Just get a small brush and just blend that across a bit. Just with a small brush. There you go. And then I wonder if I can get that again. Just in here. I'm going to get a smaller brush again to do this. Can't see point struggling with great big one. I don't need to. Right, same here. I'm going to have this in here, darker, and that's going to be the edge of that bush. There. So just spread that up into that bush. You know. That way it's stripped down. I'm not bothered. That looks quite good. That's that. Right. Now then, let's have a look. Some more painting to these bushes. These ones aren't that far away, so get a bit more paint in them, like that, and then some really dark paint in them. That's it. I'm coming down into some of these bits here. There we are. And then I think I'll use this. You can use your fingernail. Just put some little things in. I use this where I found. Don't know where it is. I just found it. Just a pointy thing like that. And then just get some little scratch outs. Look. Any you don't like, you can just dab back over them. A bit. I suppose you could use some bright yellow. I'm going to wash my brush and come back over some of that with some bright yellows. Back into some of that there like that. That's nice. Yeah, I think pretty good, done it. Right, now, brighten that up now, so I'm going to bring some of that down into this as well, because that's gone brighter, so I need to bring this brighter. That's better, innit? It just makes that look more realistic. If that's going to be bright, I've put my reflection in, and then my reflection's dulled as it's dried, and that's gone brighter where I've had it painting, so I'm just going to brighten my reflection back up. That puts some of this darker stuff in there as well. You can even put them little twigs in if you want. Tell you what I've got there. Just there, I've got that tree what won't be showing, so just to cover it up, I'll go dark a bit in there. There you are, your never know that I've done it wrong there. Made it a mistake. See, usually if you make a mistake, you can correct it. It's easy enough done. Yellow. There we are. I might dry that and then stick a waterline in, and then it'll be done. Enjoy painting that. Couple of bits on here now, tart it up a bit. I'm going to take in a bit of water on here, and I'm going to just pop in a little bit of light side down there like that. I think that will just look a bit better. A little bit of light down there, that's it. Just make that look a bit more rounded. Well, that's that. Right. Where's it got? There it is. Pop in a couple of water lines. So I'll have one. Let's have one about there. One about there. Cutting through there. So this is all you're doing here. Damp brush. A little bit of water on it and a damp brush. Now one there. A little bit of water and a damp brush. And you'll get your water lines. And I'm going to have, let's say, a big one across there like that. Look. Some water. This one won't show up as much because the paper's quite pale there. So that's that. Now I'm going to dry my brush. I'll pull all these out a bit better. Now my brush is dry, I'll just pull the paint out. That's it. Oh, that's nice. You can do that as well. Get a dry cloth and do it like that. That works as well. Because there's only this bit that's wet, you see, so that pulls it out. There you are. And then, just on this little bit here, I want a little fine bit in there. So, get some, just for that tiny little bit, I'm going to use a bit of designer's white gouache for that. If you're on good quality paper, you'll get away with still pulling it out. But on this cheap stuff, I think it's just better with a bit of this gouache. It's a bit more on my brush. I'm going to go straight out at tube. That's my tube. Come straight out of this tube with some neat gouache. That should do it. Come in there, get a little bit in there, look, and then come into that white line there with it. Take it across. Just have a bit more in here. A bit in here, look. And I'll have a bit there as well, look. There. A tiny bit more. A bit more on my brush. Tiny bit more just in there like that. I'll pop a bit in these bits as well, just to get that bit of oomph. So a little bit in there. Like I say, if you're using quality paper, you'll be able to get your paper whiter, so you're not need this gouache. But for me, on this paper, it's soaked the paint in that much, I can't get it back as white as I want. So I'll add a bit of this. I think it's called, I keep saying gouache, I think it's called gouache. So I'll add a bit of this gouache in. Someone sent me a message saying it's called gouache. I think they might be right. I think it is called gouache. There we are, some white gouache. I can actually pop a little bit in there as well, that bit there through there. Looks nice. Bit in there. Alright, I'm going to leave it at that. Taking up too much of your time. Right, where's my tiny little bod brush? Get some bods in it. Right, I'll have a signature in here. B. That stands for Bertie D. And then I'll pop in Peter and Paul are looking for worms. They're just... There's Peter. There's Paul. They're out looking for a few worms. Job's a good one. There you are. You've got a bit of a three-dimensional look in there. So obviously this is close, that's further back. Giving you that three-dimensional look. You've got your contract between light and dark here. And dark and light there. Look, dark to light there. All them things make a painting look good. Your reflections, waterlines, try and keep them straight. Yep, don't fiddle too much. If you've got one of these in your hand, don't fiddle. If you've got a violin brush in your hand, fiddle as much as you want in it. Right, I'll see you on the beach. Wah wah. That means how are you? Booyakasha.